Have you heard what those union thugs are up to now?
Yes, I've been following closely. It's worse than I thought.
Of course you. Wait. I thought you supported unions.
Oh, that was before. After you told me about all of these union thugs, I did some research and it turns out that it is far worse than even you warned me about.
Really? Did you visit those websites I recommended to you?
Yes, but that was just the tip of the iceberg.
What else did you find out?
It is hard to believe, but there are actually union thugs that go around with axes and break into people's homes.
Oh my God.
I know, they break into people's houses and grab citizens in their sleep and carry them away.
I knew it.
Oh, it gets worse. Then they spray down the house with thousands of gallons of water, doing all kinds of water damage to the house.
Oh, this is incredible. Wait. Water damage?
Yep.
How do they do that?
With these huge hoses.
How do they get the hoses to the house?
They drive around in these huge intimidating trucks and the trucks carry the big hoses.
Big trucks?
Oh, these trucks have intimidation written all over them. They are painted blood red and they make these loud noises. And they are so scary that most drivers just pull over and get out of the way when these thugs drive by.
Big red trucks.
And the worst part is, the government seems to look the other way and even encourage these thugs.
Big red trucks that make loud noises and carry huge hoses. Are you talking about fire trucks?
Yes, that is what they are called. Did you know those firefighters are union thugs?
No, firefighters are not union thugs.
I see. Well, that is not all I found out. It goes deeper than that.
What else?
There are these other union thugs that arm themselves and then go around like a bunch of vigilantes.
With axes.
Worse, with guns. Some of them even drive around with big mean scary dogs.
Now we are talking. And I'll bet they pay for these guns and dogs from union dues.
It is worse. The government pays for the guns and trains the dogs with taxpayer money. Not a dime of union dues pay for any of it.
That is amazing. I will bet the Democrats are behind this.
They don't even try to hide it. In fact, the government also provides these union thugs with vehicles and pays for the maintenance and fuel, and the vehicles make the same scary sounds as those fire trucks.
Huh? That almost sounds like police cars.
Yes, that is right. Did you know police officers are union thugs?
No, police officers are not union thugs.
I see. Well, I am new at this.
I understand. I had a hard time when I first found out about this myself.
Well, now, I am hesitant to tell you what else I found out. I'm 0 for 2 so far.
It's okay. What else did you find out?
I discovered these union thugs that take innocent children to these institutions and make them sit quietly for hours.
I see.
And on Fridays they tend to feed these children fish steaks, which may be some sort of collusion with a fishing union. I am still doing research.
Do these union thugs transport these children to these institutions in yellow buses?
They do, so you already know about this.
Yes, those are teachers, and while what you described is not what I'm worried about, I do consider them to be union thugs. You will get the hang of this sooner than you think.
Yes, I experienced some real insights when browsing those websites of yours. I was hoping you could help me bridge some gaps in my understanding.
Of course, what do you want to know?
The reason unions are inappropriate for the public sector is because there is no balancing market force like there is in the private sector.
Yes, there is a lack of competition, giving the public sector unions too much power, making them a virtual monopoly.
All right, I am able to follow that logic. But why does that not apply to firefighters and police?
Well, that is a good question. It is different for police and firefighters because they provide critical essential services.
Well, it is easy to see the difference between a firefighter and a teacher, but what I find confusing is that those differences don't seem to translate to the argument against public unions.
I'm not sure I see where you are going with this.
What I am struggling with is this: the critical nature of the job of a firefighter or police officer seems to make a stronger case against a police or firefighter union than against a teacher. The monopoly that fire and police have seems at least as unbalanced as that of teachers, if not more so.
It is important to bear in mind that police and firefighters aren't allowed to strike.
That is true, but they are allowed to collectively bargain. And the logic behind stripping teachers of collective bargaining rights seems to also apply to firefighters and police. I am sure I am missing something here.
Well, this should help you. Police and firefighters are not in it for the money. If anything, they are underpaid.
Of course. However, the difference between a starting teacher and a starting police officer is that the police officer isn't required to have a bachelor's and graduate degree to become a police officer.
Actually, most police officers these days enter the force with college degrees.
I agree. But each and every teacher enters the public school system with at least a college degree. And a teacher can't expect to make a career out of teaching without a graduate degree along with loan debt that typically exceeds $100,000.
I don't like where this is going.
Well, what am I supposed to say when one of my liberal relatives makes this point to me? Do you see why I need to know how to respond?
Oh, I see. So that is why you are saying these things. Well, I would say to tell your relative that there are consequences for making choices, including the choice the teacher made for a career path.
I suppose that is a valid enough point. It's just that I'm not comfortable with such a rhetorical approach. I need a different argument that I can use. Would it help if I told you some more things that are troubling me?
Yes, absolutely. I am glad to be of help.
So, I have realized that the comparison of teachers to police or firefighters is not a particularly useful one. For example, a teacher's day-to-day work environment and education path are much closer in nature to that of an accountant or an economist, and there are jobs for accountants in the public and private sectors. Does that logic hold up?
Well, I suppose. It's just that it is easier to make teachers look less heroic when comparing them to a firefighter. People have a strong image in their minds when they think of a police officer or firefighter. An accountant or economist is not going to create a strong rhetorical image. It is a harder image to sell. However, I am intrigued by the idea of having more arguments handy, just in case. I also have relatives who throw up such objections. You were saying?
Well, an accountant can make the same salary as a teacher, an average of $50,000 a year, without having to spend as much time or money on college as a teacher. An economist in the private sector earns an average of $114,000 a year, and the educational time and money necessary to follow that career path is similar to that of a teacher.
I don't like these statistics. Perhaps you could use the line from Mark Twain about lies, damned lies, and statistics.
I don't know about you, but I don't get to decide what information my relatives will bring to an argument. Also, these statistics about salaries seem to bear out.
I'm not sure if I can help you there. I usually just attack the source of such information as liberally biased propaganda. Perhaps you could do that. It works for Rush Limbaugh.
I'm sure it does, but I can't pretend that my loved ones are strangers on the phone who I will never meet in person. Anyway, it seems that teachers are not in it for the money any more than police or firefighters. So an argument that teachers are selfish money-grubbing thugs seems difficult for me to support.
I don't understand. When we started this, you said you changed your mind about union support.
Oh, I have. I realized that one of the reasons teachers are being singled out and called thugs is because teaching is a field dominated by women. Middle-aged women.
No. It's not true that teachers are being singled out because of how many women are teachers. They are being singled out because they need to share the sacrifice along with everyone else.
Right, shared sacrifice. I realize that the reason for weakening teachers' unions is to make it easier to fire teachers and pay them less money, not to make schools better or hire better teachers.
I strongly disagree. By getting rid of the toxic culture created by teachers' unions, the teachers will have a better work environment and we will have better teachers.
You are not going to get a higher quality employee by paying them less money and giving them less control over their work environment. It doesn't work that way.
Hold on. It seems to me that you are still as pro-union as you always were.
Yes, I am. I lied.
So, what was the point of this whole conversation? This was just a big waste of my time.
Yes, exactly. I have listened to your right-wing blather and mindless zombie talking points, while you stare at the boner manufacturing facility that is my plump sweater meat. Nearly every day I come to work, and it was time to see how you felt having your time wasted so frivolously for a change.
I have nothing but the highest professional regard for your mouth-wateringly plump sweater meat. I suppose it would be a waste of time to ask you out on a date now.
Yes, it would. Do me a favor, and go die in a fire.